Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Professor Jason Harrington, and I would like to welcome you to Ecology 301. This course will be discussing issues of world ecology, specifically the threat of global warming, which, of course, if you read the newspapers or watch television, you are very aware of this very real global phenomena. This lecture this evening, we will be discussing specifically how global warming is affecting the western coast of Africa. Let's get on with it then, shall we? All right, first slide. The first thing to keep in mind is that Western Africa has a large number of clowns working there. Clowning is a very popular career choice in Western Africa, and global warming, of course, has a devastating effect on the clown industry, mostly because the intense heat melts the makeup right off the faces of the clowns, and they no longer look like clowns, they just look like people wearing funny wigs. The gentleman in this picture, Jojo Bobo the clown, you can see the makeup has run right down between his eyes and around his mouth. His mustache worked as something of a sweat guard, and that allowed the makeup beneath his mouth to stay in place. So this is just one of the impacts of global warming with clowns. Western African officials have tried to hire sorcerers and wizards to come into the countryside and counteract the effects of global warming by casting magic spells. Unfortunately, all they were able to do was create birds, as you can see. So unfortunately, the powers that be had to find another means of combating this phenomenon. The interesting thing, however, about global warming is that it isn't really quite all bad. You can see this flower right here, the prime lemon jujubub, is only able to grow in temperatures above 60 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. I am Canadian, and so we don't use that silly American system. But this flower right here, which was found 17 kilometers southwest of N'Djamena, which is the capital of Chad, was growing on the corpse of a child, I believe. These flowers only grow on decomposing human flesh in very high temperatures. So it's a very pretty flower, and it's actually edible. Lions have been devastated by global warming, so much in fact that we weren't able to find a picture of an actual real lion. We had to use a stuffed toy lion instead. But the lion population is dying out greatly because of global warming, and so if you're a fan of lions, you must be concerned about this. DJ Jojo Bam Bam B of New York City is probably the most famous advocate of stopping global warming in Western Africa. His entire family lives there. They live in the Ivory Coast, and the good DJ has written a rapid dance hall song, which he has been selling to dance clubs throughout Western Africa to try to get young people interested in stopping global warming, specifically off the west coast of Africa. Many of these young people come to the clubs wearing colorful garb and tattooing their hands with strange designs. This design that this young lady has on her hand means against global warming in Western Africa. And these young people do make all kinds of interesting sacrifices. They refuse to drive motor cars or drink root beer because these two things directly affect global warming there in Western Africa. Now here we can see a bit of a chart. The P represents peanuts. These are the number of peanut farms in Western Africa. And the N represents the number of days without rain in Western Africa. In 1 year, you can see that, that's actually almost half a year, no rain at all, and of course this is devastating to the peanut market in Western Africa. It has been falling. 3 years ago that number would be 500. The other problem is that women cannot wear high heel shoes in Western Africa because the roads are melting under the high heat, and the high heels stick to the tar of the roads, and women are not able to walk anywhere. Now, in Africa, a lot of young people are very upset about what the global warming is doing to the environment, and they are using graffiti on downtown buildings to vocalize their displeasure. This is written in the Western African dialect of Jambo, and what it says is, global warming is very bad, we are dying, I love you, Catherine, please stop it. Well, the I love you, Catherine is probably not connected to the global warming, but you see my point. Barry Manilow is a big proponent of stopping global warming as well. He, as many of you know, is doing a number of free concerts throughout Western Africa. This is Barry Manilow when he was much younger, of course. But yes, he has written a song along with the DJ. Apparently the two of them are going to be teaming up. They're doing a three-night concert in the Ivory Coast. The big thing, of course, is that global warming is killing people. There's not enough people to go around anymore. The population in Western Africa used to be 83 million. It is now 17 million. And there's no more people to sit on benches like this one. Just 2 years ago, there would be 3 people sitting on the bench and a lineup of other people waiting their turn to sit on the bench. And you can see in the background there is powdered sugar on the grass, because unfortunately when it's really hot out, nobody wants to eat powdered sugar, so they just sort of dump it on the ground. Yes, the other thing is that global warming is having a devastating impact on our physiological systems. People don't walk the same way anymore. They tend to goose step, as this gentleman here is showing. The temperature in this picture is about 53 degrees Celsius. The gentleman is lifting up his leg because the intense heat has made his tendons stretch to unbearable lengths, and that is why he is walking so funny. Global warming, of course, is melting the ice caps, and it is causing all kinds of water to come down and flood rocks like this. This was actually taken 8 miles off the western coast of Africa, and in only weeks or maybe perhaps months, it will start to flood the mainland. Yes, unfortunately, people are leaving the western coast of Africa and they are walking to the east coast. These 4 gentlemen right here were so devastated at the impact of all that heat that they are actually moving into Central Africa, areas like Egypt and Zaire. Interestingly enough, these 4 gentlemen came from a Beatles dress-up party. This is actually the largest city in Africa by night. This is Zimbabwe City, and you can see all the lights, and that's because there's a lot more people moving there. They want to get away from the coastline because they don't want the waters to flood them out of their homes. So this is creating a huge problem in the housing markets in Zimbabwe, because there's so many people and there's not enough homes to go around. This is a subway in Africa. You can see that it's very crowded. People are crowding in. White people, mostly white people here. There you can see some black people in there, but yes, Africa is not just black people, it is white people too. And this subway is very crowded because of the intense crowding of the city. This picture was obviously not taken in the western coast of Africa. It was taken in Sarajevo. These soldiers were sent to Sarajevo to pick up some supplies to bring back to families who are in exile, leaving Western Africa. And that is a big problem, funding these soldiers to go to Sarajevo to pick up supplies. This is a brainwave of a young man who was living on the western coast of Africa and had his brain kind of fried up a little bit. You can see, usually in a healthy brain, this would be pink and orange. But in this case, it's blue, meaning he is gone crazy. One of the things a lot of people are doing to combat the intense heat is they are drinking bowls, which is a special kind of nutrient-rich water that enables people to not suffer as much when the heat is pounding down on them. This is actually not the Golden Gate Bridge. This is a replica of the Golden Gate Bridge. It was built over the waters that were flooding over the western part of Africa after the icebergs melted. They modeled it after the Golden Gate Bridge because they really like it. But this is a bridge that can help people get over the flooded areas and into Central Africa like Zimbabwe, which is where all their family lives. Anyways, that concludes this evening's lecture on global warming and the western coast of Africa. My name is Professor Jason Harrington.